Welcome back, everyone. Well, as we told you last week, Super Bowl 48 was played only 20 miles away from our studios here in Somerset, New Jersey. For our friends watching overseas, that's just 32 kilometers. But a lot of folks are still talking about the game, and that's because it made history, attracting the largest audience of any program in the U.S. ever. 111 million people watched, and I'm sure that all three of you watched. What was your favorite part of the Super Bowl this year? It was not a good game. I think we can all agree to that.
The commercials.
Of course, the commercials. But
Yes.
was there one in particular that was your favorite that stood out?
As always, the Budweiser about the little puppy in the
Yeah, I
woods.
think that was named
was
the
a
number one.
tearjerker.
I'm going to say, because I know I usually don't interject, but I like Joe Namath's fur coat. Okay.
Oh, gosh, man, that was awful. He looked like a pimp. He looked like a way old pimp.
Yeah.
I was just like, what is he wearing
That was
out
just
there? And then he
wrong.
forgot the coin toss. I just thought the whole thing was...
Yeah.
But did you notice how quickly the referee grabbed the
Oh,
coin
that was
midair?
fantastic. That was great
impressive.
drama, actually.
Yeah.
James,
Well,
you
you know,
like drama.
You know, Joe he was famous for wearing the fur
Pantyhose.
coats back when he was working
Sure.
for the,
Goodness, that's
the
right.
Giants.
But it was warm out. That was the problem. It
Well,
wasn't
but he
cold.
bought the fur coat for the cold weather, so he was darn well wearing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I found interesting was that very, very, very first play, unfortunately, set
It sure
the tone for the rest of the
Oh,
game.
my goodness,
And
you're
it's an
right.
interesting, the same thing happens when you're doing voice work. If you stumble on a word, when you're doing something live, you stumble on a word and your mind keeps going,
Yep.
and you keep messing up thereafter. It seemed like they did the same thing.
You know, that's a great point because we've all been there. I just had my coughing fit earlier. But, you know, when you do stumble on that word, it just keeps going and going. And my father, you both know, ladies, that my father played pro ball. He called it. The ball went over Manning's head and he goes, "That's the game."
He was right.
And absolutely. So, but certainly a theatrical, a great theater, if you will.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, if you like a slaughter, if you like to send someone to the Coliseum, absolutely, that's what it was.
But it was
I
wonderful.
got to mention Bruno Mars. I thought the halftime show was fabulous. He was so wonderful.
He was absolutely, and he's a talented kid. You know?
Very talented,
And to
sweet.
take over that's a huge thing. You
I
know,
kept waiting for somebody's clothes to fall off, and I was
And
disappointed.
it didn't happen, did it? And he even had the old
Drat.
school clothes on. I mean, it was really good.
He came out drumming, absolutely. I think he was just fabulous. So they did say that was a wonderful. You know what I liked? I liked that 80s commercial also.
I did see
I
it.
thought
Radio
that
Shack.
was so funny.
Radio Shack, that was
Yeah,
good.
I love that one.
Of course, they closed a bunch of Radio Shacks right
Right
after
after.
the commercial, but that's another whole story.
I really
all
liked
their
the,
money.
the little girl from Help Me Out with she was a little black girl with the hair.
Oh, yes,
the
yes.
Southern, that movie.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Beast
that.
of the Southern Wild.
Thank you, Beast of
Yes.
the Southern Wild. And her name I can't remember, but she was impressive on that commercial. I was
Yes,
like,
she absolutely was.
Definitely.
All right, well, another show taking place just as the Winter Olympics begin. The recently freed Pussy Riot Group was introduced at the Amnesty International concert by Madonna. Now, you may recall the two female members of this band were imprisoned in March 2012. They had staged protests against Russian President Vladimir Putin. At the event, they spoke about being prisoners of conscience, nonviolent people imprisoned for their beliefs. What were your thoughts about all this?
Did you see them on the Colbert Show?
I did not see that. I heard about it, and I
Yes.
meant to watch that before we talked about
No,
it.
they were wonderful. They said that they didn't want to be told what to do by a naked man riding a horse.
Yeah, Putin's just kind of creepy, and and I think that's what the cloud over this Olympics, not the athletes, of course, is the fact that the country. I mean, they're down on women, they're down on gays. I mean, if it's not his way, it's the highway, and they don't handle it right. I mean, it's a cruel country, which is not good.
Yeah, I don't like that they busted the protesters at the Olympics.
Yeah.
However, the safest place in the world was to be inside of that zone in the Olympics because he's got to look good to the rest of the world.
Well, he's going to try.
He's doing it.
And let's also talk about CVS. They made a $2 billion decision this week, and that's to not sell tobacco products in their store, saying it just doesn't fit. They're trying to get people healthy. Certainly a big decision. They are a big company with $123 billion in profits, but still, that's $2 billion. I think I commend them for doing that.
Good karma, the building up good karma.
I don't think it's good karma at all. Because look, it only took them 50 years to get around to it.
Well, they
Well,
did
then
it
I'm
though.
not sure how long CVS has been around. I agree.
But we knew 50 years ago that smoking could kill you, amongst
I don't-
other
Yeah, but Jackie, that's a big deal for them to lose all that money and take it off their shelves.
But wait, Consumer Reports showed that CVS charges more for drugs than anybody else. They can charge $300 for a
But
drug.
It's a drugstore.
That's not the point though there on that.
It's a drugstore.
Well, exactly.
So they don't
Here's the
sell
thing.
cars.
Here's the thing, they're trying to rebrand themselves. They're trying to say that they are the place to go instead of going to the doctors. And so you go there and buy your drugs. You know, we're not doing the segment on Philip Hoffman, but you go there to buy drugs, which can cost maybe $300 when at Costco it'll cost you $10.
Well, I would have to, I don't know if that is a fact because I have not researched that.
Consumer
but I think that's a good,
Reports.
Okay, I'm definitely going to check that.
Yeah, but as far as
just in terms
Dwayne
of
Reed, Walgreens, CVS, they're all in the same boat. You're going to a completely different entity.
I don't know.
No, let's just stick with the topic.
Costco.
It's $2 billion. They took a $2 billion hit. They could have done it 10 years ago, but they didn't. They're doing it now. James?
Well, 500,000 people a year die of tobacco-related deaths. They got to be doing something good there.
I think it's just a good, consistent message. You go to the drugstore to try to, get things and make you feel better, and tobacco's bad for you. So I think it's a good message, a consistent message, and good for them.
No, it's a terrific message.
It's going to be interesting, though, if Walgreens, Rite Aid, and any of the other ones follow suit, because then where are you going to go buy cigarettes? I mean, somebody else is going to be making it. At the deli,
Yeah.
at the gas station. But I'm not a smoker, so I'm not really sure. But it's just kind of if that disappears from...
Right, no, I think it's a really good message. It sends out a really good face of CVS. However, remember what I'm saying today. They're going to rebrand themselves.
They are doing that. That is true.
Exactly, and they are going to try to make their money on drugs, on things for first aid, etc.
You think the drugs are going to be higher because they're not selling
Well,
cigarettes?
they are higher, and they are higher than any other place where you can get that kind of drug. I think we're trying to drive business differently.
We're getting a little bit off topic on this, but yes, they are going to be rebranding, and that will be certainly something to see as they try and make more clinics inside CVS stores. That will be interesting to watch. All right, well, last night also, Jay Leno's Last Tonight Show was one for the ratings record books. The host's last episode brought in 14.6 million viewers, one of the show's largest audiences, but it was his goodbye that brought out the hankies. And just, James, we'll start with you. I'm not sure what you thought of his last monologue, his last night. What'd you think?
I was impressed with what a nice guy Leno was to the very end. He had every reason to be bitter. And he did have some jokes about NBC, but they did not have a mean edge to it. I was really impressed with his positivity.
No, he just went after Bieber. In the beginning monologue, that was it.
For me, he's fair game.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's fair enough. What did you think, Dee Dee?
Well, I thought it was... I thought it was interesting. I was able to meet him probably about 10 years ago, actually, at the Indianapolis 500. Nicest guy you would ever meet. So down to earth, so sweet. Oh, here, let me get this for you. And I'm like, dude, you're Jay Leno.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, I thought it was goodbye. I mean, obviously, it was a tearjerker. But he's worked hard. He deserved it, and he deserved a wonderful farewell. And I thought they did a nice job with him for that. And full disclosure, I like Letterman better than Leno, and I like Fallon better than Leno. But as a person, Leno is the best. He's great.
I know, Jackie, you have a story about Jay Leno.
Sure, because you are so right. 10 years before you had that encounter with him, I was a young waitress at the Improv in West Hollywood. And Leno used to come in, and he used to sit with the young and upcoming comics and talk to them. And whatever he ordered, I remember that hamburgers were $8, he would leave you an $8 tip. That's the kind of guy he was.
Well, I always love those stories when you hear that the celebrity is really the nice guy or the nice girl, whatever. Doesn't it stink, though, when it's the other way, when you find out that the one person, boy, do I,
well, like
that's
Carson.
awful.
Apparently, although I loved Carson, and for those of you under 40, Carson used to be on television, but he apparently was not a very nice person once you got him off camera.
Well, I thought it was funny how he just got the heck, they were talking about how he got the heck out of Dodge, and he was a recluse. He wouldn't have anything to do with anybody ever again. Well, Jay Leno's still doing his car show, and he'll do all kinds of things.
Of course.
And I actually saw Johnny Carson and didn't want to be bothered. I was sitting at a table right next to him in Hollywood and basically didn't want anybody to say anything to him, and if you did, the waitresses came over and hushed you up. So little story about Johnny Carson, but he was brilliant. Gosh, he was great.
Well, Leno just loves to perform. I didn't know until a couple days ago that when he was still doing the Tonight Show, he'd then jump in a plane and fly to Vegas and do a show and then fly back to California the same day.
Yeah, they said he was the hardest working man in Hollywood.
Just likes
we
to
are
perform.
out of time. We thank you, Jackie, James, and Dee Dee. Thank you very much for joining us, and that is all the time we have this week. From all of us here at Fresh Outlook, thanks for watching. I'm Mia Toski. Have a great week, and we'll see you back here next week.